Welcome everyone to today's meeting of the Commission on Inclusion and Adaptive Living. I'm Russ Randall. I chair the commission. Our commission serves the disabled community in Flagstaff. Our commission's goals are to expand educational opportunities, improve access to housing, buildings, and transportation, have greater participation in recreational, social, and cultural activities, to encourage greater opportunity for employment, and to expand and strengthen rehabilitative programs and facilities. Stacy, would you go ahead and take the roll for today?
Great. Russ Randall.
Here.
Rachel Simakunda.
Present.
Keith Becker.
Present.
Sarah Dorman.
Present.
Michelle Eisenberg. Susan Purrington.
Present.
Thank you, Stacy, and thank you all for attending today. All commissioners should have their microphones on mute to keep the background noise out of the chat room. The chair of the meeting should ensure everyone has an opportunity to speak if they would like. Commissioners should use the chat function to inform the chair that they would like to make a statement, and the chair will announce the commissioners to speak in the order in which they appear in the chat. At this time, and we would ask that you turn on your cameras while speaking, and that is in the interest of accessibility. And thank you for that. I believe Stephen Thompson is here to talk to us today about the annual Earth Day celebration. Hello, Stephen.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me. My name is Stephen Thompson, and I serve as a supervisor within the Sustainability Division for the City of Flagstaff. My primary focus is in neighborhood engagement and volunteer services, so a lot of volunteer opportunities and signature events, including the annual Earth Day celebration. And I do have a very short presentation just to share an overview of the event. Just clicking on the present buttons. And hopefully it'll pull up here just in a second. There we are. So the annual Earth Day celebration is hosted by the City of Flagstaff Sustainability Office. And today, for this discussion, just going to go over very briefly the purpose of the event, an overview of what happens, and I'm looking for some recommendations that can either happen after this presentation or maybe with a subgroup or something like that. Just trying to get some input in making the program, the event, more accessible and inclusive for our whole community. So basically, the purpose of Earth Day, this celebration, is to bring community members together and provide an opportunity to make connections with organizations within the community and within the region, and helping folks discover different opportunities that are out there, whether it's services, rebates, or educational opportunities. And all of this really does promote sustainability and resilience in the community. And it's a celebration. So we're trying to get out and enjoy this place that we call home, this shared place that we call home. Key components to the event is we host it on the Saturday closest to the actual Earth Day, which is April 22nd. So this year on Saturday, April 20th, we'll be coming together for the main event from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Bushmaster Park. Sorry, there's a minor error in my PowerPoint presentation. Apologize for that. And the reason there's an asterisk next to the 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. timeframe is the 11 to 2 is the main event. But earlier in the morning, we typically do a large-scale volunteer opportunity to give a thank you to the community surrounding or the neighborhood surrounding Bushmaster Park by doing a large-scale litter cleanup in the morning leading up to the main event. Some key aspects of the event include volunteer opportunities, and we're always trying to engage volunteers in different ways for these events. This year, we're not only doing litter cleanup, but we're requesting volunteers to help set up and take down the event, as well as help assist as recycling and compost ambassadors to help streamline those processes to really reach a zero waste event goal that we have set up. And typically we have 45 to 50 different organizations who set up tables in the grassy area at Bushmaster Park. And it's all about show me, don't tell me, and lots of hands-on activities that are good for all ages. We do also have typically 2 to 3 live musical performances at the main stage area on one of the larger ramadas at Bushmaster Park. This year, working with Rose Tohi, she is trying to reach out to different indigenous groups that might be able to come and perform traditional dances. So looking forward to that. We also host several workshops, 2 to 3, lasting 45 minutes or so, that range in topic every year, from rainwater harvesting to at-home composting to home electrification. We have family fun activities at all those different tables, as well as a scavenger hunt or event passport to encourage people to go and explore the different tables that are there. And families can tune those in for small prizes, things of that nature. And new this year, we're trying to organize a community ride or a community bike ride to encourage people to move another way to get to the event versus driving personal vehicles if you're able. And that is an aspect that I'm really looking for more feedback on for the community ride. And I do see that Rachel has their hand up.
Hi, Stephen. First of all, let me say congratulations on the excessive snow heroes. I am 100% impressed with what you've done. But getting back to Earth Day, have you reached out to Adam Shimoni regarding the bike stuff? And if not, I will, if that's okay.
Oh, thank you for that. I do have a staff member, Jacob Rotz, within the sustainability office, who is the lead for organizing this aspect. And I believe he plans to reach out to Adam soon, because Adam reached out to us last year about trying to coordinate something. So I think he's going to be involved. Thank you.
Let me know how that goes, because I know Adam has a lot of stuff going on right now with his bike business. And so let me know how that works, because as a personal friend, I could reach out to him. Okay,
perfect. Thank you for that. I will make sure Jake is aware, and I'll pass along any information to him. Okay. And yeah, thank you for that offer.
And then the other thing is, have you reached out to the police department to see if they would come out and sell? I know they have bike helmets that they sell. It used to be $10. I don't know what it is now. But have you reached out to them to find out if they would set a table up to sell the helmets? If you did not, I am the liaison to the police department for this commission, and I certainly don't mind reaching out to Sergeant Rentala.
Yeah, I have not reached out to the police department. If you would be able to reach out to the sergeant, and I've worked with Sergeant Rentala on drop-off day events and things like that in the past. So if you reach out to him, let me know if they're willing and able, because I think that is a great tie-in. Because another component of Earth Day is not just trying to promote these things, but providing resources and encouraging safe recreation and safe mobility as much as possible.
Well, and I think I can speak for this commission when I say that it prevents traumatic brain injuries. And so it's something that for me personally is near and dear to my heart. So I definitely will undertake that. And then feel free to reach out to me. We've worked with you before, and I've got a group of volunteers already that are waiting to sign up to help you. I'm going to get them going on helping us with that bike helmet situation, though.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thanks, Stephen.
Yeah, of course. And I do have just like a couple more slides to give a broader overview for folks who may not have had the opportunity to participate in the last couple of years of the Earth Day celebration. So these are key components. And here is just a site map of where the event takes place at Bushmaster Park. So it's on the east side of the park, and all of these little squares that are in purple with numbers, those are where the tables are typically set up for the event, kind of ringing that grassy area surrounding what I refer to as the main stage, where the live performances are happening and where announcements will happen, etc. The parking lot, this year we have a few more opportunities with some of our partners who want to bring in electric vehicles for display. I think one of the solar companies has reached out about mounting solar panels on vehicles and want to have demonstrations of those. And so in the parking area, it's pretty much going to be dedicated to accessible parking that will be clearly delineated and have signs, everything like that. Mountain Line typically brings either their electric or hybrid buses or a bus. The Pals Mobile is usually there, and we typically have 2 to 3 food vendors as well in that parking space. And then on the bottom part of the screen, you might see a green box that says workshops, bike demo area, and restrooms. So the workshops sign is that Ramada is where the workshops are hosted. And if we do work with organizations or bike companies or businesses, we often have demo areas in that space on that bottom right corner of the screen, because it's a nice big flat area where people can try like an e-bike out or things of that nature. So that's just a brief overview. I know went pretty quick there, and I believe I'm probably running out of time. But in a nutshell, that is the Earth Day celebration. This is how we've run it for the last couple of years. And I'm just want to open up the floor for any questions folks might have about the event itself, and open this up for a brief discussion or any specific recommendations related to the event, or in particular, the bike ride event.
Thank you, Stephen. I see in the chat that Susan has posted High Country Adaptive Sports may want to show off their adaptive bikes.
Perfect. Thank you for that recommendation. I'll reach out to them and see what we can get set up, because I think that's a great opportunity. Thank you.
And then I see some other things in the chats. Commissioner Dorman seconds their participation, and then Susan or Commissioner Purrington notes they are also having a bike demo day on April 27th.
Perfect. I'll keep that in mind. That's awesome.
Stephen, this is Rachel again.
Yes.
I do have, just as coming from the commission and what we're doing at this point in time, would you be a leader in making sure that sidewalks stay clear, that disabled parking spots stay clear? You know, as a city, I think that that's the best way that this commission can help the city, is by making sure that those are always accessible for those who need them.
Yes, perfect. I'll double down on some of those efforts, and
Okay.
we're looking for volunteers and potentially paid temporary workers to help facilitate some of the parking that we have.
I do have a group that would be willing to do that for free.
Perfect. Awesome. So for as I see in the chat, contact information for volunteers can either be to myself, and I'll drop my email in the chat, or Sonoma Boynton is helping coordinate a lot of the volunteer opportunities for the day. The email is the best way to provide to get a hold of us because we're in and out of the office on a regular basis. And so the email is a good spot. And then in the next few days, I'm hoping to have our Earth Day website updated with all the current information. I also dropped that in the chat where more of this information will be available. Volunteer registration will be set up. Just working on some of those minute details before we publish. And then I also see the Lefty Lucy for donations. Need to reach out to them. Yes.
Right. Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments for Stephen, commissioners? Well, thank you, Stephen, for coming to present to us today. We're excited to see the Earth Day celebration happening. And thank you for facilitating that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all so much for the insight and feedback. And if anything comes up after this, if have any ideas or thoughts or suggestions, please just send me an email or give me a phone call. I'm happy to hear and happy to learn more. So thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay, to move on to our next discussion item, we do have Public Works Section Director Evan Terrell here, I believe.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Awesome. Thanks for the opportunity to come and speak before you all today. Again, my name is Evan Tyrrell. I serve as the Solid Waste Section Director for the Public Works Division for the City of Flagstaff. So ultimately, I oversee all of our collections within the residential and commercial city-provided service, the Cinder Lake landfill, our recycling programs, etc. I was provided a list of questions that I've provided some limited written responses, but I was planning to maybe just talk through those today and entertain any further questions beyond that. I'd be happy to do a screen share, and looks like Stacy just put up what I sent her previous to this meeting, and we can talk through that, and any questions, feel free to interrupt. Perfect. So the first question is largely answered in question number 2. Are city trash truck drivers trained to place trash bins on the street at the curb after picking up residents' trash? And short answer to that is yes. And there are some caveats, and that does become complicated whether or not there is a curb, whether or not there's a bike lane adjacent to the curb, whether or not there is a grass area next to that. So as part of our ongoing training, we do provide new hire orientation and driver training for via ride-alongs to all of our staff. And we don't necessarily have a retraining interval, but we do have basically weekly staff meetings with the entire collections team where we talk about near misses, safety enhancements, programmatic improvements, etc., challenges, and all of the above to talk about and reiterate certain policies for the city and for our drivers to make sure they're, number one, operating safely, and number 2, effectively and in accordance with all relatable city code and rules and regulations for the state as well. So we don't have a specific retraining, but we did hold one on Tuesday of this week with our weekly team meeting. And as part of that, we fielded questions, and we learned that there was a little bit of confusion. And every alleyway, every street, every area is a little unique. So we're really trying to understand where are those challenging areas, and to make sure that we are providing the most degree of access from right-of-way, sidewalks, and pedestrian and bicycle access points throughout the city. So our retraining today was basically, if the can is placed in the wrong spot when we collect it, then we want our drivers to place the can back to where it should have been upon placement and after the collection is completed. So we're looking at all of those various items, and again, as with the unique locations in each street and each neighborhood, et cetera, how do we best optimize that, and how do we alleviate concerns from not only this group, but from the community and even businesses that utilize some of those right-of-ways as well. So we do have, and I've linked in this document, which Stacy, I can send it out, or if you'd send it out on behalf of the group, but 2 websites, namely for our residential trash recycle services program. That particular link for the residential provides information on our typical collection, our schedules, but also our collection policies and what we ask our customers and residents to do when they place their containers, and even when they set them out for collection, but also for removal purposes. And then secondly is our bulky waste program. Continues to see large volumes, but also piles that may not be in the most opportunistic areas and locations. And so this year we've enhanced our education. We've increased the information on the postcard, which we also state for our residential program, is that any piles or containers, they must be a minimum 3 feet from all objects, including utilities, mailboxes, fences, and that piles and containers cannot block right-of-ways, sidewalks, or pedestrian and bicycle access points. There are again, some very challenging areas that make it difficult, that we can't necessarily always have a perfect spot for every resident to place their container. But we do field questions, and we have, as I'll get into here a little bit later on question 3, some more information to help our residents and our staff optimize these collection programs and the container placement ultimately. I'll pause there in case there are any immediate questions. If not, I'll go on to question 3. Excellent. Stacey, would you mind scrolling down? So with respect to concerns or challenges with areas that might not have the right placement, or we see recurring problems, we encourage people to notify our customer service team. And I've provided both an email and a phone number. So solid waste solutions at flagstaffaz.gov is monitored by about 7 different employees. It's a group email that goes to our supervisors, our customer service team. It goes into my email as well, that we are monitoring and working to respond as quickly as possible. So that's one way to report concerns with respect to bulky piles, trash bins, et cetera, overflows, whatever it may be. That's for missed container pickups, for replacement can service, your lid fell off. Those can also be fielded through that email, as well as the phone number 928-213-2110. Those phones are typically staffed on behalf of solid waste collections, Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Not always on all holidays, but typically Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 4:30, we are there to answer phones and respond to concerns and customer requests. If there are recurring and ongoing concerns from a city code violation perspective, I've linked there the website for the Community Code Compliance Department. That link provides emails and phone numbers for that particular division and department with the city. And we in solid waste try to address these items on a very active basis and as immediately and quickly as possible. So when it comes down to the subsequent questions here, 4 through 8, should citizens help to remind drivers not to put trash bins on sidewalks when they see this happening? Not necessarily. Our drivers are, they're actively, at a stop for maybe 5 to 10 seconds at most. So you could attempt to wave them down. They may not see you, and so we request that people direct concerns as provided above by either calling the phone number or sending the email to the Solid Waste Solutions email program. However, our employees do actively monitor and report nonconformance concerns with trash cans, recycle cans, bulky waste piles. Typically, our drivers will they'll stop and they'll take a picture with typically their cell phone and send those photos to our Solid Waste Solutions email, at which time our customer service team typically would contact that resident or that customer the same day and notify them of the concern or the nonconformance with respect to their can placement, or if they have contamination in their recycling. All of those variables are typically, and we try to handle those on, again, a very immediate and same day basis. So question 6, do employees know about the bulk trash schedule? So the bulky crew, of course, yes, knows that, and we have bulky waste postcards. These are also downloadable from the website that is linked on which section and where they're working on for that particular week. The regular drivers that are collecting the regular cans or carts on a weekly basis, whether it's trash or recycling, they don't always have that schedule with them, but if there are concerns with bulky, they will also take a picture or they will contact their supervisor to understand what areas are actively undergoing bulky waste collection for the week. So quick answer to that is yes. Item number 7 is essentially the same item. We ask that bulky trash is only put out the week of or prior to Monday at 6 a.m. of that collection week for bulky. I think we allow people to start placing piles approximately 1 week prior to the scheduled start time for bulky collection. That's in an effort because we do see that bulky piles are oftentimes very large. Of course, with bagged pine needles, we see giant piles that are out there. So to try to keep people to refrain from putting them until that week of, we allow for a 1 week buffer in advance. But again, we do very clearly specify and we work to actively educate our residents and our customers about proper placements, about proper sizes, about proper materials that we will accept in that program and vice versa, and a very active and ongoing basis. So it is an ongoing education outreach type program as well. So, and then number 8, what can this group do to help alleviate the problem? I think that's something that is that I'm open for discussion. The emails and phone numbers provided above and the websites and other information. I would encourage this group to actively share that with your neighbors and other community members. But I'm also curious as to what ideas this group has and what other questions and concerns that I could help to answer today or conduct some research on and get back to this group at a later time. Thank you for your time and information today, and look forward to questions.
And thank you, Evan, for being here. I see Rachel, Commissioner Rachel, you have your hand up, yes?
Hi, Evan. I am not only a commissioner, but I am also the liaison, co-liaison for both parking and for code compliance. So we have been sending a weekly email to Reggie with any addresses that we receive during the week. We've been forwarding those to Reggie. And I know we're not going to be doing our presentation today, but in the presentation, there have been something like 158 addresses that Reggie and his team have gone out to and left door hangers, or actually made contact with the resident. And so, and I think that was the purpose of the working group that was started for this commission, is to be able to help with that. But do you know any feedback from Reggie regarding any of that stuff?
At this time, I do not. I imagine our collections supervisors and leadership team would have some information on that. I can certainly reach out to Reggie and ask for an update, but I can also consult with my team as well. But with respect to those lists, it might not be a bad idea to also perhaps consider carbon copying or CCing that Solid Waste Solutions email when those are sent out on a weekly or whatever frequency that those are sent out.
Okay. I will forward that address to Jamie because it's Jamie that sends that email once a week. And so I will forward those to him, and then I will be talking with Reggie later today, and so I'll also talk to him. But
Okay.
as co-liaisons, Jamie and I are always available. Like if you guys want to call and whatever you need, Jamie and I are here for you. And so, you know, we're trying to help however we can. Let us know.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I see Commissioner Becker has his hand raised.
Maybe that was coming.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment that if your drivers only have a choice of placing a trash can back on a sidewalk or in a bike lane is the preferred place because sidewalks need to be kept clear at all times for ADA purposes. Bike lanes, the people in a bike lane can use the bike lane, but they can also use the street if they're on a bicycle. Anyway, that's just a comment. Thank you.
Understood. Appreciate that. Thank you.
And Evan, this is Russ. I walk a lot of neighborhoods in the city of Flagstaff, primarily on the west side of Flagstaff, but I continue to see garbage cans that are placed on sidewalks by drivers, including in front of my own house. Last week. So I guess this just continues to be a problem. So Evan, is there something we can do to assist you in keeping that from happening?
Yeah, that's a great question. And again, I think, you know, if we don't know about it, we can't necessarily address it. So having those emails that Rachel mentioned sent off and included to our solid waste solutions team will definitely be a great start. And you know, I'm happy to field questions and emails. I can't address every concern, unfortunately. I wish I could. But also, Russ, just to point out, so that meeting we had earlier this week with our collections team, there was a little bit of confusion. Some of our drivers historically thought that they were to return the can to where they picked it up from.
Sure.
Right? So if it was originally placed on the sidewalk, they were placing it back to where they picked it up from. So we told them no sidewalks. If it's in the wrong spot, when you put that can back down, we want you to place it where it should have been to begin with, to help to train our customers by repetition.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that will help, and I'll continue to reiterate this as well, and agree with the bike lane. You know, the bike lanes get complicated as well, and you know, where we have curbing on those, you know, the bikes can't go outside the curb, of course, and then ongoing traffic, and you know, I think that's the general approach would be to not place in the sidewalk, place in the bike lane, you know, where applicable and appropriate. And you know, there are some certain corridors that I was looking at just recently and going with our team is, for example, Beaver Street. It's southbound only, and there's a separated bike lane as you go there. And after the containers are collected, you know, they have to place them right in the bike lane. There's nowhere else to put those containers, given the one-way street. And if it's a windy day, then they blow over, and then they're on, like, in the middle of the bike lane. So there are some areas that are excessively challenging, as I mentioned, those unique locations, and we're constantly looking at how can we identify solutions to improve and enhance those areas.
And I appreciate that, Evan. I truly do. I know in my neighborhood, I live in University Heights, and Ardrey is the street next to my street. It's a narrow street. People, almost all of them, place their garbage cans on the sidewalk, and after pickup, they're back on the sidewalk. But I guess that's going to change, right? My brother-in-law, who uses a wheelchair, can't walk down his sidewalk. But thank you for that, Evan. I also see that Martin Ince has something in the chat. It can be dangerous for bikes to have to leave a bike lane and swerve in the traffic on busy streets. Best place for the trash can is with his wheels against the curb, which may leave space in the bike lanes for a bike to get around without having to go into traffic.
100% agreed, and that's typically what we want to see is, yes, wheels against the curb with 3 feet of separation of other objects from every side. And that's so long as there is a curve. Some areas don't have curbs, right? So that's where it gets even more complicated and these unique areas. So I'll make a point. Yeah, University Heights. You know, I think we've had some turnover and some drivers that, again, these retraining and those meetings are really helpful for us as a collections team to make sure that everyone is on the same page and we can remind people of those concerns. And again, you know, if we don't know about it, we can't correct it. So the more we can get email or information to ideally that group email that I've provided, that would be really helpful for us moving forward.
Sounds good, Evan. And I think I see that Martin has his hand up.
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to use this opportunity to again make a plug for the value of parkways to provide a place for trash cans. And really that, you know, that comment is for us going forward to make sure that we always build parkways when we build streets and sidewalks. You know, Evan and the rest of us know we have plenty of streets where we don't have parkways. So finding a place to store snow and trash cans and all that stuff just becomes more of a challenge. So again, just a comment and a plug for moving forward. And stressing the importance of those parkways. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, do we have other questions for Evan? And I see Keith, Commissioner Becker, put in the chat, I agree with parkways too, and so do I. I think parkways are very beneficial. But all right, Evan, well, thank you so much for coming to our meeting and answering our
Chair
questions.
Randall,
Oh,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do see Commissioner Eisenberg has her hand up.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I had a question for you, Evan. Has there been any discussion about, because I do know that something I've been here 30 years, so something we've always had issues with is the wind blowing the trash cans around and stuff, and sometimes they're who knows where. Has there been any you know, look into like technology or anything like that to help weigh those down somehow or something to keep them from blowing so much and so often?
Yeah, that's a great question, and again is an ongoing challenge, I think, with solid waste collections anywhere throughout the country. And we do buy the more robust and heavier containers. We're trying to kind of convert those from the older style that are much more lightweight to now these more robust, heavier Toter brand, TOTER containers. And we also are trying to have our drivers, it's not always feasible, but when the can goes down, that the lid is also shut. If the lid is open, it can actually catch the wind more and knock it over and move things around. So that is an ongoing challenge, and you know, it is directly relatable to container placement and where the container is placed after collection. With regards to adding weight to those, that's something that I'm not aware that we've looked into. You know, those newer containers that we are trying to switch out to are a little heavier. Adding weight to those would probably be a challenge, especially with how many containers we have throughout the community. I think we're over 80,000 at a low estimates of containers that are out there. So I'm open to ideas and areas for improvement on that particular topic.
Okay, thanks for answering the question. I appreciate it.
Any other questions, commissioners? Well, Evan, thank you so much for coming in today, answering our questions, and collaborating with us to just kind of make the situation better. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Appreciate the invitation, and happy to come on again in the future anytime, and appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Okay, folks. Next up, we do not have any action items for today, and we would do our approval of the minutes, but we are going to postpone that until our next formal meeting. So at this time, we're going to ask for informational items from commission members? Do we have commissioners with information? Oh, I see Commissioner Rachel, yes.
We are still doing the informal working group. The next one is this Friday at 5 o'clock. And I am looking for a couple of people to join. I've got 3 new members, but I'm looking for maybe a couple of others, including commissioners or city staff that would like to join. I think that we're going to keep our focus on sidewalks, but we're kind of doing it in a different way, which we will talk about Friday. But I'm extending the invitation for anybody to join that meeting. And then Stacy, can you tell me, is it okay to put my email in the chat? Because what I'll do is they'll send me that they're interested, and then I'll send a Zoom invite. So can I put my email in the chat?
For administrative purposes in arranging a meeting, yes. The other option is that I can, of course, collect that information for you and handle it from my end if you would like.
I think it would be fastest if they just sent it to me.
And then I am available Friday at 5 p.m. so I could join you if you would like as well.
Okay. I will make sure I send the Zoom invite directly to you.
Great.
And then, so I will drop my email in the chat so that anybody that wants to join can just shoot me an email, and I'll send the invite right to you.
Rachel, Commissioner Mukunda, just to reiterate, informal working group would have to have 3 or less commission members.
Correct. So what I'll do is I'm the only commissioner right now. And so once I hit 3, then I will let the 4th or more commissioner know that we're at capacity at that point.
I think maybe I would feel more comfortable with the formation of a working group in this case if we, rather than doing it in volunteer, did say in the meeting who would like to join and what we will be working on.
Perfect.
So with that thought in mind, is there anyone who would be available and willing to serve on the informal working group on Friday at 5 p.m.? And please just go ahead and speak out, right, Commissioner Chair Randall?
Yes, please do speak out.
Michelle, I see your hand up, and Susan, I see your hand up.
Yes, my hand is up because I do have something to share, but I didn't want to take away from you, Rachel, so I wasn't sure if you were completed with yours.
Just waiting to see if anybody else wants to join, so that Stacy can deal with that.
My hand was also up for something to share.
Okay, so Susan and Michelle their hands are not up with regards to the working group. Do we have any commissioners who are planning on joining the working group? Okay. Rachel, did you have something else to share, or?
No, not until our liaison discussion.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Okay, I think Michelle, you have something to share.
Yes, hello. Thanks for having me. I don't know if everybody knows, but I'm the chair for the Northern Arizona Committee on, now I can't say all my acronyms. Northern Arizona Committee on Transition Team, representing particularly youth and young adults in the community. And we've been having some discussions. So I wanted to read a letter that we drafted as a team for everyone's consideration and thoughts. So I will read that now, but I am on another screen, so I can't really see you guys. So if something weird happens, I guess let me know. So to the City of Flagstaff Mayor, members of City Council and the City Commission on Inclusion and Adaptive Living. The mission of the Northern Arizona Community of Practice Transition Team is to improve lifelong outcomes for youth and young adults with disabilities. More specifically, we call it NACOPT, attempts to expand opportunities for youth and young adults with disabilities in the area of employment, education, housing, transportation, and other potential community living needs. This letter specifically addresses the proposed revisions to the city's engineering standards, which include allowing expanding use of rolled curbs. As you know, rolled curbs slope up from the gutter pan to the sidewalk, whereas standard curbs have a more vertical face. Information gathered by the NACOPT indicates that there are problems related to the use of rolled curbs, especially for members of the community who experience mobility challenges. Drivers often use rolled curbs to drive up on the edge of the sidewalk, constraining the sidewalk width, reducing walkability, and frequently causing blockage of sidewalk for people using wheelchairs or walkers. ADA regulations require at least 36 inches of clear sidewalk width. Municipalities that have allowed for increased use of rolled curbs have seen increased encroachment of this required sidewalk width by drivers parking on sidewalks. A secondary side effect of increased use of rolled curb is that parking on sidewalks leaves more on the street width leaves more of the street width for moving motor vehicles, which then increases the speed at which people drive. By trying to get their vehicles out of the way of the speeding drivers are actually making it easier for other drivers to speed. This is also of concern for the NACOPT as it further challenges the safety of members of our community with mobility challenges. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, individuals with mobility challenges, find rolled curbs to be difficult, if not impossible, to navigate. Without true cutouts for driveways, many individuals with mobility challenges will be denied access to residences. This is a true infringement on accessibility, and hence rolled curbs are viewed negatively throughout the disability community. At this time, due to the concerns expressed, the Northern Arizona Community of Practice Transition Team is recommending that the revision allowing for increased use of rolled curbs be pulled from this round of updates to allow more time for consideration and public discussion. We appreciate your time in listening to our concerns, and thank you in advance for your time and attention in addressing this matter. Sincerely, members of the Northern Arizona Community of Practice Transition Team.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Susan, you had your hand up to share.
Hello, everyone. Northern Arizona, the Parks and Recreation Management Program is launching a new graduate certificate in recreational therapy. We are actively trying to address the lack of certified therapeutic recreation specialists in the community, and therefore launching an online one-year certificate program for individuals who already have a bachelor's degree and are interested in becoming a certified therapeutic recreation specialist. So we will be having some informational sessions coming up in March and in April. I can share a flyer that includes that information, but we're very excited about this new offering and expanding therapeutic recreation services in the Northern Arizona area.
And Susan, thank you for that share. And I see that Sarah put in the chat, amazing. And I agree with Sarah on that. It is amazing. And Rachel puts that she loves it, me too. Do we have other commissioners who have informational items to share? And I do actually, but only something I think y'all already know, but Samantha Victor, the City Community Engagement Specialist, has asked we commissioners for statements and or pictures with regards to sidewalk compliance and sidewalk enforcement. And I'm not sure if any of us have actually replied to that and actually provided Samantha with that information. I also wanted to check with the other commissioners, and maybe Rachel and Keith in particular. Is that all right if I share our PowerPoint with Samantha?
I don't have a problem with that.
And
I'm
Keith,
okay with it also.
okay, thank you for that. So I'll share our entire PowerPoint and then she can use whatever pictures she wants, I guess. Susan, I see your hand is up.
Me and Sarah?
Sorry, I'm trying to put it down.
I know mine won't, I was gonna say mine won't go up, I don't think.
There we go.
Okay. And Sarah, was your hand up?
I was trying to, but I don't think it's working. But either way, I just wanted to share a couple of things if we have the time.
Absolutely.
All right, one is we still have the caregiver support group for individuals raising and caring for children with disabilities. Our next meeting is March 20th from 5:30 to 7, and we have Dan Davidson coming to speak with us, and he's a fantastic resource for parents. So I can send out that flyer if you would like, and save the date for October 5th, 2024. There will be a Northern Arizona Disability Resource Fair in the High Country Adaptive Center at this point. We're working out those details, and IHD is going to be sponsoring that, as well as Care for the Caregivers.
Excellent. And thank you for sharing that, Sarah. Yeah, I'm very supportive of caregivers, so thank you for sharing that. Any other information from commissioners to be shared? Okay, moving on. I think we have the mayor with us today, and Mayor, this would be time for your update.
Hello, I'm happy to be here. And thank you for the letter regarding rolled curbs. And Russ, thank you for calling in with public comment last night. The city council did consider some changes to the engineering standards. And the one that we decided not to move forward with was rolled curbs because we want to talk about it some more. So know that I share your concerns about rolled curbs. I have long not been a fan of rolled curbs. So I will, and I know you all will stay tuned to more information about that. We also voted to lower the speed limit on Butler Avenue to 30 miles an hour from Milton down to Sawmill, and then 35 east of that. And that's going to tie in nicely with the big project that I've talked to you about previously that is going to be done to make Butler Avenue much more pedestrian and cyclist friendly and safe.
Well, Mayor, such good news on both counts. So thank you so much. And thank you for your support of our attempts at advocacy. We truly do appreciate it. So thank you for listening.
Oh, wow. Thank you for talking.
Do we have other commissioners who have questions or comments for the mayor? I see Rachel put in the chat. Thank you so much for listening to our concerns. Lower speed limits will save lives. Absolutely.
Russ, I also would like to make a comment to Mayor Daggett if I can. Mayor Daggett, back in, I believe, October, Adam Shimoni and I did a thing at 4th Street where we crossed all 4 lanes. Did you see that video? We can't hear you.
Mayor, I think you're muted.
Technology gets to all of us.
Never going to figure that out. No, I didn't see the video. I knew that you did it, but I didn't see the video.
Okay. That may be something that I forward on to Samantha as well, but I'm in a wheelchair full time. And so for me, crossing a road, even a 2-lane or 4-lane road, but especially a 7-lane, when I am in the intersection, I actually have to put my hands up like this so I can make sure that taller vehicles see because I sit so low. And so I really appreciate the fact that you've lowered the speed limit so it makes people like me safer. And I really appreciate the fact that you've heard us on that. So thank you very, very much.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm big advocate for all of our work and our goals and our values around safety, pedestrian and cyclist safety, and also freedom of movement. So the clean sidewalks, the no rolled curbs, all of that, they're very important to me.
Well, this is why my family loves you as mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, and Mayor, anything else for us, or are we good to move on?
That's it on my end.
Thank you. Yeah, very good. Thank you. And thank you for being here today. Next up, do we have an update from our staff liaisons? I think not, because we don't have Lisa or Mariah present. Stacy, do you have anything you want to share today?
We do not. Thank you so much, Chair Randall.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we have Estella Hollander here, our transportation liaison, to provide us with an update.
Excellent. Thank you, Russell. And thank you all I'm happy to be here. My name is Estella Hollander. I'm the planning manager with Mountain Line. I'll keep this quick since we're almost at time, but some great news is we hired a new associate transit planner, Lorena Reyes, and they will be regularly attending these meetings and will be the transportation liaison going forward. Lorena comes from the city's Park and Recreation Department, or PROS, and has a great skill set with planning and implementing programs. And we're very happy to have Lorena part of the Mountain Line team, as well as will be a great contribution to this group as well. Another update is the Coordinated Mobility Council, who some of you attend this meeting. This is a group focused on transportation challenges as well as solutions geared towards older adults and people with disabilities. We met last week. We had a presentation from the city on their Snow Heroes program. We also had a presentation from Metro Plan staff, which talked about their the Slow Streets program, which is a new initiative with Metro Plan. It's a pilot program in the Fremont area to try and lower traffic speeds on Fremont Street. They're also going to be kicking off a vulnerable road users safety plan coming soon, and I'm sure we'll get more information from Metro Plan once that study kicks off, and we'll probably be including this commission in that study. Another initiative part of this Coordinated Mobility Council is this wheelchair accessibility vehicle subcommittee, and basically trying to get more wheelchair vehicles, mostly in kind of the taxi and Uber Lyft realm. So kind of filling that gap of on-demand transportation. And so we do have a one-pager developed. I believe I did share it with some of you, or share it with this group last meeting. But I'll just quickly, I have my screen shared with the flyer. And basically the goal of this is to bring some awareness about some of the need in Flagstaff of the lack of vehicles that have wheelchair accessibility, as well as kind of provide a quick overview of kind of some of the benefits that can bring to it, as well as some resources and kind of some more information. So just kind of a one pager with some information. And so this group has been distributing this flyer kind of all throughout town. And then I'm happy to share it with this group again. I can email it out, but just, yeah, really trying to bring awareness, kind of get the word out that this is a need in our community and see where it goes from there. Ideally, it would be maybe a taxi or Uber Lyft, driver to get a wheelchair accessible vehicles and be able to fill that on-demand gap. Lastly, I will be meeting with a company. It's called Userve, funny name, but basically they are an adaptive TNC company. So TNC is a fancy word for Transportation Network Company, which basically is like an Uber and Lyft, but they provide wheelchair Uber and Lyfts. They're kind of a separate company that I think we'd need to like contract them into Flagstaff. So more information to come, but this is maybe a potential solution to filling in this gap. So, but I'll stop there since I know, yeah, we're a minute over. So
Well, Stella, thank you so much for the update. We know the Mobility Council does an awful lot to promote accessibility for folks with disabilities, and we appreciate your being part of that. So thank you so much. And then I also see Lorena Reyes is in the chat, and I don't know that I know Lorena, but Lorena works with NAPTA, yes?
Yes, Lorena's our new associate transit planner. So she'll be more involved attending these meetings and providing these transportation liaison updates going forward.
Excellent. And Lorena put greetings, everyone. Glad to be part of the commission. Looking forward to working with y'all. And Lorena, we're looking forward to working with you too. And thank you for being here today. And Estella, thank you for your update. Joseph Spence, our youth liaison, I believe is here. Joseph, do you have an update for us?
I can be quick as well, if you want me to be quick as well.
That would be great, Joseph.
I totally forgot to put some notes in my phone about what I'm supposed to say and all this. Mr. Randall, maybe you can help me out or something.
I can, and Joseph and I were at a meeting yesterday, and the community practice transition team is planning an employment encounter / teen job fair, I guess. And
that will be April 23rd, I believe.
24th, I think, but
24th, yeah, close enough. April 24th at 8:45 to 12:45.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's at Coconino High School, right?
My former high school. My former high school. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is at Coconino High School. Yes.
And it's being facilitated by Sherry Swellness at Coconino. So, and Joseph, you have a flyer, too, right?
I don't think I do, to be honest with you.
Okay, I think I might. But so Stacy, if I send you the flyer, can you send it out to the commissioners?
Yes.
That would be good, and I think that would be kind of quick and efficient. So we'll do that, all right, Joseph?
That'll be great.
Okay, Joseph, do you have anything else to share with us today?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
And then next up, we would be having updates from our sidewalk liaison, Martinez, and our parking liaison, Simacundo. But Mr. Martinez is not here. And Rachel, are you good with us postponing your update until next meeting?
I think Rachel stepped out. I think she had to leave.
Okay, well, I guess she is good with us postponing it then. Thank you, though, Keith. And do we have any public participation?
Chair Randall, we do not appear to have any.
Thanks, Stacy. So our next meeting will be March 27th, 2024. That will be our next formal meeting. We're going to have our working session meeting, I guess, on March 20th. Is that right, folks? I think that will be on March 20th. And is there any?
Do I need to be there for that?
Yeah, we would like you to be there for that, Joseph. Yeah.
What time is that at?
Noon.
All right. If anybody could send me the link, that would be fantastic.
You will get the link, Joseph.
Absolutely.
And I have a couple of things with regards to our next meeting. I know our next working meeting, we are going to receive training. But then I think at our next meeting on March 27th, just something, an initial thought that we need to see on the agenda is discussion about therapeutic recreation in Flagstaff. And that's right, Susan and Sarah?
Yes.
And that absolutely needs to be on the agenda for the 27th. Are there other agenda items that any of the commissioners would like to see put on the agenda for the March 27th meeting? Okay. If you do come up with some, please be sure to reach out to me or to Mariah. Okay, anything else we need to talk about for the good of the cause? Yeah, I'm going to adjourn the meeting then at 1:07. I thank you all for your coming in and for your expression of your ideas. And I appreciate you letting me keep you a little overtime today. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.